Hi everyone, being an IELTS trainer for more than 20 years, successfully preparing students for IELTS, whether general training or academic training. I have discovered the reason people repeat IELTS for 4, 5, 6 times, which is alarming considering the rate of economy in this country. At times I imagine someone registering for IELTS repeatedly, with the high price of registration for 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, a number of factors are responsible, and to address these once and for all, I would like to discuss a number of factors responsible for repeating IELTS examination, how to avoid being scammed when preparing for IELTS, and how to ace the exam just once. This is no magic. When I start a conversation and you try your best to implement the discussion or the factors discussed, you will sit for the IELTS and ace it just once. So before you even register for IELTS, I will encourage you, not you alone, even inform others to watch this video, listen to it attentively and meticulously, enumerate and note those factors and see how you can work on them. Now to begin, the first factor responsible for mass failure or repeating IELTS exam is the mentality that IELTS is just a test of English. The mentality that IELTS is just a test of English, and so you don't need any preparations. Just go for the exam and you will pass it excellently. You will ace it just once. No wonder people continue to repeat this exam 4, 5, 6 times, wasting their hard-earned money in the process. And so be informed that, of course, IELTS is a test of English proficiency, testing the 4 language skills, which is reading, listening, speaking, and writing. The knowledge of English language alone is not in any way sufficient to ace IELTS at a sitting. Take this from me. The knowledge of English language alone is not sufficient. In fact, I have told some of my students, and they have seen it themselves, that a teacher of English, someone who studied English language, can fail IELTS repeatedly. If he or she fails to prepare for IELTS and know the best strategy or best strategies to ace this exam at a sitting. Note, for example, that when preparing for this exam, you have to take note of timing, which is one crucial factor, and of course another factor why people fail this exam or repeat this exam. Let's take the reading as an example, the reading section of the IELTS. You are answering 40 questions in just an hour under examination condition. 40 questions in just an hour, with about 3 sections that contain passages. And so without knowing these strategies, believing that I understand English, you approach it from the wrong angle. perhaps reading the paragraphs first, go to the question, go back to the paragraphs again, not even taking note of the instructions. From experience, those ones who believe that it is just a test of English and that they don't need to prepare using timing themselves beforehand, before they go for the exam, will actually not complete the 40 questions. Some told me honestly that they are still battling with question 20 before 1 hour elapsed. And so take note of this, that it is not just a test of English. It is tricky, it is technical, and enough time for preparation will help you to identify the tricky nature of the exam, how to approach the exam, and other factors that you need to know. So take note, the first scam is that it is just a test of English. Go for the exam without any preparations, okay, and you will ace it. I bet you with that mentality, such ones will continue to repeat the exam until they understand that the exam is technical, is tricky. You have to understand the structure of the exam, which is just not just the knowledge of English language only. You have to understand the structure, how to approach each of the sections of the IELTS. It is not until you know all of this that you'll be able to ace the exam and just ace it. Another factor responsible for mass failure or repeating IELTS exam is the second one I want to discuss, and that is length of time for preparations. Length of time for preparations. It's so funny that some students, after registering for the exam,